I'm crying every night after school.
Nico was head girl at Launceston College in Cornwall until she left after taking her GCSE.
I don't think it's probably like a case of bullying or, you know, along them lines, but it's worse.
Launceston is one of 6 secondary schools run by the same academy trust in the southwest of England, called the Athena Learning Trust. Athena has been criticised by parents, former teachers and pupils for its strict discipline model. Even the brightest pupils have regimented learning.
The school picks the books and they follow it with a ruler, which frustrates me so much.
So you've got a whole class following the lines with a ruler?
We're all the same uniform, and we're shouting.
That alone is like following the book with a ruler. I was watching the news, BBC News coverage on this, and you know, they had an animation of the kid following the book with a ruler, and it looked like a cult. It looked like these kids are being taught in a cult environment, a dystopian environment. In 2026, there's a schools out there that is abusing these teenagers for even looking to the left or to the right or looking out the window or putting your eyes anywhere other than the teacher. This was some of the stuff that they were doing. You cannot imagine the shame, fear, control that these teenagers did. They needed fun. They needed interaction. They needed teachers to teach them. And they ruled with fear. And shock horror that the Athena board never said a word. Ex-teachers and parents obviously screamed from the heavens, what are you doing to our children? Because now it's over. The Athena boards have been shut down. I think they've come away from the schools that they were in anyway, but even that is going to take some time. So their rules, their regulations are still going to be in place for some time for the kids that are still at these schools today. There was also the detention, what they call refraction period. If you got detention or if you were sent away in one of the schools, you were sent to a room with noise cancelling headphones where you can't say anything, you just have to be silent as the grave, which is abuse, straight up abuse. Don't know how you put it, don't know how you shape it. It's abuse. It's just abuse. Don't know how they even got away with it. They got away with it because it was hidden behind the wall of education. It was a school, and it's sickening. It's diabolical that they could do this to young kids, young adolescent teenagers. It's despicable. Like in the music lesson, how can you do a music lesson silently? Just oh, hey lad, we're gonna get whipped here. You know what I mean? Like how's it work? It's. I was shocked when I was watching this because I was thinking, this is 2026. There's no way that I'd send my kid to this school if they came back and told me any of this. Some of them were taken out and like homeschooled. But like saying that, how do you homeschool your kids when you've got to work as well? Your kids have got to go somewhere. They've got to be in education. It's required by the law. So your kids have got to go somewhere that they're essentially being abused and not learning anything. I could not learn in that environment. I couldn't learn in the environment I was in. I always say I failed my school, the school failed me. Because my school was full of, let's just say, asshats. And that's a colourful word. I could use worse.
Results at the school have improved since Athena took over. The number of pupils getting good maths and English GCSEs has gone up from 50 to 55%, but some teachers say the discipline went too far. Even music lessons had to be quiet.
I would go through how to play the musical notation, and then the lesson would just be silent focus on trying to learn this musical notation.
So the classrooms had to be silent?
Well, they pushed for 100% distraction and disruption-free lessons and 100% silent focus.
In a music lesson?
In a music lesson.
From 50 to 55%. That's incredible stats. What did you use? Scarecrow's fucking fear toxin. Where is it that they can say that they can do this? It's despicable. It's shocking, isn't it? It really is shocking. Like I said about the music lessons, no silent, 100% silent focus doesn't exist. There's probably a lot of teenagers in these surrounding areas, in these schools, that are like undiagnosed ADHD, undiagnosed autism probably, that cannot sit still and cannot be silent. Because I was one of them. Couldn't sit still. I've never been able to sit still. And I can't be completely silent either. That's why I'm doing YouTube. It's honestly baffling that this happened in 2026. Just like out in the open.
As its school teaching approaches are evidence-informed and do not replace or limit creativity, adding consistent classroom routines are key to supporting all students. The Athena Trust recently announced it's planning to disband after protests by parents and pupils. The schools will likely be transferred to other trusts, but until then, the trust will continue running them. The Department for Education says allegations about Athena are serious and concerning, and that
saying it's evidence-based is, yeah, the evidence is there that stats are going up, that grades are getting better, but how did those grades get better? The education obviously changed because of Athena's way to teach was psychotic, and again, through fear. You don't get nowhere with fear. These are teenagers. They need help. They need guidance. They need young adolescents that are wanting to go to school to take the next step in life, whatever their life may be. And life is already hard enough. School does not have to be harder. I had a fantastic time. Clearly didn't. But my school was nowhere near as bad as this one. Or these. Not just this one. This is multiple schools. The Athena Trust has multiple schools in these areas. I think it was Cambridge and Devon. And for there to be multiple, that's sickening. That's a lot of kids who potentially got ill from being in school. Like, the bathroom breaks were so small, like you couldn't go to the bathroom, otherwise you would get sent to, I think it was refraction, what they called a detention refraction period. In one school they had to open up a bigger refraction room because there was that many people in refraction or detention that it was impossible to keep them in a small room. At that point, wouldn't you just like start, dicking around with your friends, hold a revolt, get a fucking, a cult following going, burn the school down? Don't burn the school down, but like, it's hard to say because obviously you wouldn't, but these are going to be angry kids, but also these kids are going to be afraid of the teachers. I'd hate to be in them staff rooms. I'd hate to think what them teachers who, by the way, didn't want to have any part in the BBC interview, what they said about these kids. Because I bet you it's some horrible shit. Teachers were probably horrible, and the trust was probably just as bad. The fact that the teenagers still have to, pupils I should say, are going back to these schools because the trust has now been disbanded. But Athena is going to carry on until the trust gets moved into a different trust. They still have to stay with Athena, so the schools are still going to be run by Athena until it gets moved to a different trust, which is diabolical. Disgusting, because how long is that going to take? This blew my mind, thinking that this today could happen. Honestly, I feel for every one of these kids, every one of these young men, young women. It's sickening. It really is. I hated secondary school with a passion. Like, it was a vile place for me to be. There was no help, none. Not to mention that the toilets were not even there. That they like we had no toilets, which was, another matter of, that was just never sorted. It was strange. It really was. But the teachers were nice. The teachers taught, some of them. It was nowhere near as bad as this. Nowhere near. My problem was the pupils. These schools are failing these young people. Like, no one's going to sit still unless it's out of fear. No one's going to be silent unless it's out of fear. And you're getting shouted at daily if you break eye contact with the teacher. Even being a teacher in that setting, the power that you are probably that they need to crave over these teenagers is narcissistic and psychopathic. Like, no wonder they didn't want to be interviewed. It's so weird. It's awful. I think all these pupils, young teenagers, are very brave for just going through it in general. So it must be very, very hard. The fact that, again, Athena gets to, the Athena Trust still has the schools is, difficult. Their rules are still going to be in place for maybe a long time, and I guess just hang in is all he can do, which is also very sad. So there's no cheers to this video. It's awfully awful, and those young adults shouldn't have gone through that. So they're all very brave.